Episode number 18 of the Making the Case show. Women must bring value too. Let's talk about it. Hey, what up, young world? We back at it again. Episode number 18 of Making the Case. Your host, Dr. Jacob Isom, educator, author, speaker, entrepreneur, father, a little bit of everything. So, I mean, we here, right? I got another great episode for you today. All right. So today's episode, women must bring value too. All right. Now, of course, see, I was about to jump straight in. Let me not do that. Okay. For those of you that's new to the channel, welcome to Making a Case. Making a Case is where we take topics and questions and I research and make my case on why something is or is not a certain way. All right. We have two channel norms. One, we don't attack people, we attack points. And two, we don't do all the cussing and derogatory stuff. We keep it professional over here. All right. So, as I mentioned, today's episode, women must bring value too. So, let's get into my opening statement. All right. Now, we always hear, right? Whether that's on, it is funny. All right. Let me tell you why I'm smirking, right? Because we really about to go in on this episode, all right? We always hear on social media, podcasts, like everywhere about what men must bring to the table, right? Like we understand that a man he must be valuable for a woman to take him seriously, right? There's no question about that. But a lot of time we don't have the opposite conversation of a woman bringing some type of value. We know women are born with their value, right? We've heard this a million times. We know this, right? But it can't just stop with beauty, all right? Because there's millions of beautiful women out there, right? If if the only thing you could bring to the table or had to bring to the table was beauty, then all these beautiful women would be married by now, right? They wouldn't be in their 40s and 50s with cats and dogs talking about they can't find a man. All right. Now we know the real reason, right? We probably touched on the previous video, but I imagine we got some more videos in the future coming for why that is the case. But we're not going to digress. We're going to stick on the subject, the topic. All right. So, yes, women must bring value. All right. In order for a man to take that woman seriously, in order for a man to look at her as a long term play, she has to be valuable. Now, we know that men and women value is not synonymous, it's not the same, right? A man is protector and provider, a woman is sustainer, supporter, nurturer, right? We got two different roles. So, whatever our role is, our jobs for those roles is how we bring our value. Okay. So, today I actually have four pieces of evidence. I know it's rare. I usually have three pieces of evidence, but this topic is so meaty and so good. Hey, I got an extra piece of evidence for you. All right. So I'm excited about getting into it. I hope you are too. So without further ado, let's get into our first piece of evidence, shall we? All right. So there you saw it. All right. This is a clip from Stefan Speaks. Actually, he's a relationship coach, very popular guy on YouTube. You should check him out. He actually says a lot of pertinent and relevant things. All relationship coaches are not made equal for sure, but he actually says a lot of good stuff. Oh, but I agree with the points that he was making because what we have to understand, I mentioned in my opening statement, like the value that men and women bring is not going to be the same, right? So a man, in my opinion, right, is going to make sure the big things are taken care of. And that I'm talking about bills, I'm talking about when it comes to the physical labor and things of that nature, right? A man wants to protect and provide. He wants to make sure the big things are taken care of. So, what he would like for his woman to do and how she can add value is to make sure the little things, to make sure the home is tidy, to make sure the home is decorated and things of that nature, right? Things that, let's be honest, men typically do not want to do because that's not a lot of men wheelhouse, right? We don't enjoy those things. Like me, myself, I do not enjoy cooking. Now, will I cook? Yes. I would actually prefer to cook with somebody. It makes it more enjoyable because it's that social bonding, right? But me cooking by myself, boring, right? I do not enjoy it. So it's certain aspects that men do enjoy. Like a lot of men don't mind getting on a ride and more and cutting the grass, put the AirPods in, and then going to work, right? So it's certain things that generally, typically, men enjoy that women don't enjoy, and vice versa. So women have to find that, and every man is going to be different, right? So you have to mold yourself into that man, right? And this is where vetting comes in, right? You have to understand and know what you're looking for. Both men and women do, right? What are you looking for in a man, right? Are you more traditional? Are you more modern? So you have to know yourself first. And I did a video the other day on personality, right? Know who you are, know what your personality is, know what you value, know what you can add to someone's life, right? Before you try to jump in and be in a serious long-term relationship. Because that's the reason why a lot of them are not working out in the long term, because we're not plotting, we're not planning, and we're not executing these things beforehand. All right. Into our second piece of evidence. So for my second piece of evidence of women should bring something to the table as well, or women should add value, however you want to look at it, is an article that I found. It just explaining what should women bring to the table, right? So we're about to see if I actually agree with it or not, and see if I would like to add certain things to it. So let's get into it. So this is from a platform called Never heard of it. New to me. Of course, it's a dating platform, and the title of it is called "What Should a Woman Bring to a Relationship?" All right. So it's 10 things that they say a woman should bring to a relationship. So let's get into those 10 things. In any relationship, understanding each partner's unique qualities and contributions is the key to fostering a loving and harmonious connection. When it comes to what a woman should bring to a relationship, it goes beyond conventional expectation or stereotypes. This informational article delves into the essential attributes and qualities a woman can cultivate to nurture a healthy and fulfilling partnership. From emotional intelligence and effective communication to empathy, support, and personal growth, each aspect plays a crucial role in building an emotional bond and fostering a resilient and loving relationship. By exploring these qualities, we aim to empower women to embrace their strengths and positively impact their relationship, creating a foundation for mutual happiness and fulfillment. So, what can a woman offer in a healthy relationship? Open communication. One of the essential qualities a woman should bring to nurture a loving relationship is effective communication. Being open, honest, and empathetic and expressing thoughts and feelings helps build trust and prevent both from feeling disconnected. In a relationship, communication is not just about talking, but also active listening to comprehend the emotion and concerns of the other person. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A lot of people miss that part when we speak of communication. I'm glad they started with communication because, of course, communication is by far the most important thing in a relationship, in any relationship, right? But a lot of times we think of communication when it comes to just speaking, but the communication process is speaking and listening. All right. One thing that I think that a lot of couples or a lot of people can improve on is their listening skills. I think a lot of time things get miscommunicated and misinterpreted because people are not at the active listening. Okay. So we're gonna move on to the second one. Emotional intelligence, which I've mentioned before. I do not like the word emotional intelligence. I like emotionally mature. All right. It just rolls off the tongue better. Another crucial quality for a woman in a relationship is emotional intelligence. Understanding and managing one's own emotions and recognize those of their partner enables smoother interaction and a deeper connection. By being emotionally intelligent, a woman can navigate any challenging matter with empathy and grace, avoiding unnecessary conflicts and misunderstanding. So, of course, I agree. Being emotionally mature is so huge in a relationship. When a man sees that you can have your emotions under control, even in tough situations, that you're not raising your voice, you're not cussing, you're not acting crazy and all that, like he really respects that. He appreciates that. That is valuable to a man because he wants his woman to have discernment. He wants this woman to know when to be coy and know when to speak up in a polite manner. So that is huge. Third, supportive and empowering attitude. Absolutely. A woman should bring a supportive and empowering attitude to her relationship by encouraging her partner's dreams, ambitions, and personal growth. She creates a nurturing space for both individuals to drive. To make a relationship work, both partners uplift and motivate each other to be the best version of themselves. As such, a certified relationship coach would stress the significance of supporting each other's aspirations to promote a fulfilling and balanced partnership. But yes, more so for the woman, and I'm not saying that the man shouldn't as well, but more so for the woman because a man has to feel like he's supported, right? So when men go out there and work these strenuous jobs, because we know the stats are out there when it comes to the most dangerous and strenuous job men are doing. So when they come home, they want to feel support. When they come home, yes, they want a home cooked meal. When they come home, they don't want to hear nagging. So to have that supportive, that that good attitude that comes along with a supportive wife or supportive girlfriend, it speaks volumes. It's definitely value laden for sure. Fourth, respect for boundaries. Respecting each other's boundaries is fundamental to maintaining a relationship. Understanding and honoring individual needs, personal space, and emotional limits are vital for creating a safe and secure environment for both partners. Women who demonstrate respect for boundaries display profound understanding of human psychology and emotional needs. By respecting her partner's boundaries, a woman acknowledges that the importance of autonomy and mutual respect leads to increased trust and intimacy in the relationship. Absolutely. So, the respect for boundaries is huge because like you have to allow, and I know women are not gonna like when I say this, you have to allow a man to be a man. Now what that means is that men act different than women. You can't expect that he's gonna act the same way as you. All right, so some things he's not gonna feel like are as important, like when you complain about him leaving the toilet seat up, and he's going to forget sometime. And a lot of it may be due because he spent a lot of years by himself, right? Or he just don't think about it, right? He might go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Like that just is not that important, right? So when it comes to respecting boundaries or even just respecting the fact that he's a man and he doesn't feel like everything is as important, it's hierarchy for a lot of men, right? We put some things up here and some things just down here. And I'm sorry, ladies, leaving the toilet seat up is just at the bottom. And we just don't care about. So you might have to say it over and over. And it might irritate you, but at the end of the day, it's small things. All right. Fifth, emotional resilience and self-care. A woman should bring emotional resilience and commitment to self-care into a relationship. Being emotionally resilient allows her to cope with challenges and setbacks, demonstrating strength in times of stress. By taking care of emotional well-being, she can approach conflict with a balanced perspective and effectively manage her own emotions during difficult times. So yes, self-care is huge. So a woman that not only take care of herself emotionally, physically, spiritually, right, mentally, yes, that's a woman who can not only add value, but a woman that can have a clear mind and a clear conscience because she's focused on self. So of course she's gonna be supportive to a man and she's gonna do the things that she needs for a man, but at the same time, she knows she's come first. At the end of the day, we have to put ourselves first. Six, flexibility and adaptability. Women tend to bring flexibility and adaptability, sometimes setting aside their own needs to nurture a relationship with the right person. Life is full of changes and challenges, and being open to adapting to new circumstances is essential for relationship growth. When women embrace and change and adjust their expectations, they create an environment where both partners can navigate difficulties together. Now, I don't agree with putting a relationship or a partner first because I always think you should put yourself first. But after yourself, the relationship definitely comes after that, right? So understanding that y'all might have planned something and it didn't work out. Well, we have to be flexible and adaptable to understand that we got to move on to another situation. We got to move on to plan B and maybe even plan C. All right. 7, appreciation and gratitude. Oh my God. I don't even need to read this to tell you how important appreciating gratitude is. Like when somebody does something for you, it can be the smallest thing. Like I appreciate when I open the door for somebody. I open the door for men and women, right? I just think it's the polite thing to do, right? I speak when I first see somebody to men and women. I just think it's the polite thing to do, right? It's a human thing to do. So when someone say thank you for even a little thing, if they drop something, thank you. Like, man, I come home and the dishes are washed. Man, thank you. I appreciate that. Like, that's something that's little that is a value that you can add because even though someone might be appreciative of something, if you don't say it, then that person don't know. So being verbal with your appreciation is so huge. Courage and the vulnerability. Oh, we're gonna move past that. Independence and interdependence. Striking a balance between independence and interdependence is vital in a healthy relationship. Many women understand the importance of maintaining their individual identities and pursuing personal interests. Yes, in a relationship, you got to have a relationship with yourself and then a relationship with each other, right? You may have a show that you watch by yourself because he don't like it, right? And that's okay. But then you have a show that y'all only watch together. And then if y'all watch it apart, you have every right to be mad because it's like this is our time to bond, right? So you got to understand that yes, you independently do things, but the relationship is an interdependent relationship, all right? But you have to have that healthy balance between both of them. And the last one is playfulness and humor. Of course, you want somebody that you can play with. A lot of time, that's when women say they want a friend, that's actually what they're talking about, right? They're talking about somebody they can have a good time with. They could have a playful relationship with, and everything is not always serious, right? I myself, I'm a very joking dude. I know I can get pretty intense and serious, but I like to play a lot too. But I know when to cut it off, right? I know when to play and I know when to be serious. All right. So that was the second piece of evidence, the 10 things that women. I think that most of them was spot on. I wasn't really feeling the one, even though I believe that vulnerability is definitely a superpower. But for the other ones, I'm right there with them when it comes to what kind of value that women can add. So let's get to our third piece of evidence. All right. So for my piece of evidence number 3, women must add value as well, or two. Kind of go on same lines as the last piece of evidence of kind of 10 things that a woman can do. Let's see if this article has some similarity in the 10 things that a woman can do to add value. This is from a platform called Attraction Diary. Never heard of it before. So let's get into it. So, of course, it's titled 10 Things a Woman Can Bring to the Table in a Relationship. All right. So let's get into it. In relationships, it's often said that it takes two to tangle. In other words, a successful relationship isn't just about one person doing all the work or making all the sacrifices. Both partners play essential roles, each bringing their unique qualities and strengths to the relationship. In this article, we discuss specifically what women can bring to the table. Though a lot of women out there believe all they had to bring to the table is simply their looks and physical appeal, this mentality could not be farther from the truth. Any woman who still thinks all she has to contribute is her beauty will easily be replaced. Easily. Real women contribute these 10 things and more in a relationship or marriage. Emotional support. Absolutely. A relationship is sanctuary where both partners lean on each other during the good and bad time. A woman possesses the innate ability to nurture, care, and show empathy. She listens attentively, validates feeling, offers comforting words, or even just a shoulder to lean on. And I know that when it comes to a woman and that emotional support, sometimes she cannot be emotionally there when her husband needs her to be. But that's when you just communicate that, right? You say, hey, babe, like, I'm not in a space or place emotionally right now that I can give you what you require, you need right now. So can we come back to this at a later date? Or if not, I would hate to say this, but maybe you need to call and talk to somebody else right now that are in a space where they can talk to you and work things through with you. Like when I tell you that that communication piece is so important, right? It you must be honest with yourself. Like it's not gonna always match up where you strong, they're weak, and you can balance it out, right? Sometimes y'all both gonna be weak together, but y'all gotta communicate that. All right. Two, advice when her man is on the wrong. Let's see what they say about this. Everyone needs a reality check once in a while, and that's where her honest advice shines. She's not afraid to speak her mind and point out mistakes. Constructive criticism is crucial for growth. With her by his side, he's got a confident who won't sugarcoat things just to maintain harmony. Now, I do agree. When you're with a woman that you trust, that you validate, that you want to hear what they have to say, right? So I actually do agree with this, right? And she's going to do it in a way not to demean you, not to tear you down. She's going to talk to you in a certain way to say, "Hey, you know you was wrong," but she's not going to do it in front of people, right? That's the big thing. You can't do it in front of people. So I absolutely do agree with that. That's how you can add value for sure. She can motivate her man. Absolutely. Behind many successful people is a partner cheering them on, providing a much needed push. Her belief in his potential can work wonders. She sees the fire in his eyes and fuels it further, ensuring he never loses sight of his dream. Absolutely. A man that knows that his woman is behind him 100%. Now, I'm not talking about the men out there who have these dreams out there that are like far fetched, right? Okay. Dreams are dreams. I'm talking about goals. Like, I'm talking about the men who have realistic goals, who didn't sit out, who didn't plan it out, right? They understand the different points, how they're gonna get there. Like a woman behind that type of man, man, the sky's the limit. All right. So I definitely agree with that. Women can also support financially. You hear that, ladies? Long gone are the days when financial burden was shouldered by one. Today, she's as much a contributor to the household finances. Whether it's sharing bills, saving up for vacation, or investing in mutual dreams, her financial support brings equilibrium. With combined financial resources, dreams don't remain distant. Whether it's buying a home, traveling the world, or starting a business, her contribution speeds up the journey towards ego. Now, I would never understand. Let's just keep it 1,000. How women are out here saying that they want a man to pay 100% of the bills. And then you got men out here who are saying the same things. Now, what sense does it make for a person, whether man or woman, but we know the argument is for men, right? To pay all the bills and that person money just get frivolously spent. There's no plan for that money. Why are you in a relationship? It doesn't make no sense whatsoever. Yes, we in times of inflation. Yes, we in a different area. We keep talking about, well, back in the days, men used to do. We're not back in the days anymore. Clearly, we don't follow traditionalism. We don't follow the Bible like we used to. It's a lot of things that we don't do anymore. We don't have the same cultural norms anymore. Like we have to move off this whole, well, back in the days they used to. We're not back in the days. Stop that, please. Companionship. Life journey is filled with twists and turns, but with her, the ride is less daunting. Her companionship is comforting, whether it's sharing a quiet evening at home, traveling to unknown destinations, or just discussing life. Her presence is reassuring. I remember, okay, follow me on this. I remember that there was a point in time where I used to love coming home to the woman I was with. Now, unfortunately, that died out. But I remember those. It was just the companion, it just coming home and being able to lay next to the person that I love and the person that I appreciated. So that companionship, like they always say, like you can love somebody and not like somebody, which is crazy, but I get where they coming from, right? So you want to like and love the person you with. You want to have those moments where y'all have been at work all day and you can't wait to get home to them. Like it's a great feeling, it really is. Feminine energy. Oh my gosh, I do not need to read this. Absolutely, this should have been right behind communication. Okay, If you want a masculine man, you must bring that feminine energy. Period. You must be nurturing. You must be supportive. You must be friendly. You must be discerning. All right. It's just no ways around it. If you got a masculine man, the feminine, it wasn't matching it. Period. Her nurturing and caring side that fits into femininity. A different perspective. Every person, regardless of gender, brings their own set of experience and viewpoints to the table. And one offers a fresh lens to view situation, making decisions more holistic. With her unique experience and upbringing, she contributes to a perspective that broaden horizon and foster growth. Absolutely. And then it goes back to one of the previous points that they were making, that like she offers ideas and opinions. She has a different perspective. She was like, hey, did you think about this? And it's always about how you approach things and how you say it, right? Because whether man or woman, we can get defensive if you say it a certain way, if you seem condescending, if you're raising your voice, right? It's always how you say it. Share responsibility. Modern relationships are about partnership. I don't necessarily agree with that. It's not about one doing all the heavy lifting while the other sits back. I do agree with that. A woman brings a sense of shared responsibility to the table, from managing finances to run the household, planning future endeavors. She actively involved. Now, when it comes to shared responsibilities, I've always made the case that there is no such thing as equality. So there'll never be a situation where a man and a woman are it's 50-50. That's never the case, because the man is going to lay his life on the line. He's going to jump in front of that bullet, that car, right? And 9 times out of 10, she's not. So that's not equal, right? So the only thing a man really wants is, okay, I just need you to play your role and do your part, right? Whether that's 60-40, 55-45, 70-30, 80, right? But men understand that it's not going to be equal. We're fine with that. We just need you to play the role that we feel like see fit as the leader. And the last one that they bring up is friendship. Now, I will say this. I get what people like. Women right now are on the kick about, I want to be friends first, right? Friends don't date, mama. All right. So what you really mean it is you want friendship qualities, right? But you develop that as you are dating. Okay. So yes, you understand that the reason why y'all are dating, and the reason why y'all together in the first place, because you are attracted to that person, right? So you develop those friendship qualities. You don't be like, hey, I'm a friend, then maybe eventually we'll turn into something, maybe not. No, you got to be decisive. We're going to it, we're dating, we're going to these stages, right? So I'd never get the whole let's be friends first. Okay. That's a real quick way for a woman to put you in the friend zone and you don't even know it. You ain't even know it. All right. So that was piece of evidence number 3. Let's get into the piece of evidence. All right. So for my last and final piece of evidence, evidence number 4, women must add value to, is talking about 9 principles that can add value to a relationship. Now, this article more so is talking about just in general, I believe, in men and women. So we're just going to break it down and see what we can pull from it. This is from a gentleman by the name of Rohan Watson, counseling and coaching. That's what he does. So, and the name of the article that he has is How to Add Value to Your Relationship, 9 Principles. All right. So he's talking about 9 principles and not 10 things. All right. So let's see what he got to say about how to add value. Right from an early age, we quickly discover that growing and maintaining quality relationship takes effort. As we get older, that doesn't get any easier. Relationships, especially close ones, such as with a partner, work colleagues, or friends, can get complicated and become real hard work. But because we're social beings, we share innate need to belong. Isolation or disconnection are well documented as having potential for poor consequences on health. However, through connectedness with others and by bringing and adding value to your relationship, this can help spawn many mutually positive well-being benefits. So here are 9 core principles for adding value to your relationship, which you can start applying right away. Respect. Okay. I give you that. Empathy. I'll give you that as well. Communication, attentiveness, accountability. Now, accountability is a huge one, right? Accountability partner, because I will be honest with you. I feel like there is a huge void when it comes to women and accountability. Women admitting that they're wrong, women saying that they're sorry. Of course, we've seen all the jokes and so many videos talking about how women never apologize, right? So if you have that is something that that should really be on your radar when you're vetting people and you're looking for somebody to spend the rest of your life with. Okay. Can you see the fact that they hold themselves accountable? Not just you, but are they holding themselves accountable? Can they admit when they're wrong? It's huge. Grateful, we saw that before. Authentic, being their normal self. So, a lot of times what you will see is people like to become chameleons and they like to switch up depending on who they're in front of. Now, we understand there's a such thing as code switching, right? We understand that you're going to act different at work than you will around your friends. We understand that, right? But if in every environment you're a different person and it depends on who you're around, that can be an issue. Being able to forgive, if you hold on to grudges, if you just hold on to things, you have to be able to work through conflict, all right? Have a solution, and you have to be able to move on. Now, will you be able to forget everything? No. All right. That's not how the brain works. Now, the brain is going to naturally forget some things if you're going to be together for a long time, right? But you can't hold on to everything. That's how a lot of relationships end up tanking and going downhill because you really haven't resolved something. You really haven't let it go. You let it foster and you let it eat at you. All right. And let's see what the ninth one is enrich. Now, I do want to read this. Be committed to helping others learn and grow and to discover meaning and purpose in their lives. Connect them with people, knowledge, and resources that expand their capacity for pursuit of their passion and talent. By enriching the lives of others, we ourselves are enriched. A relationship bond grows stronger through the shared experience of fulfillment of achievements and in making of a more meaningful and purposeful life. I mean, I guess so. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but you know, I guess it's something that I think the other ones are more so how you add value. That is just kind of like the cherry on top. All right. So overall, I don't think they wasn't bad principles, but a lot of them are kind of what we already touched on in the last pieces of evidence. So let's get into my closing statement. All right, there you have it. There was a lot of things that we touched on this episode of how a woman can add value to a man, being a solid communicator, of course, being nurturing, have a humorous side, being flexible and adaptable, offering advice, offering a different perspective. So it was just so many things that we went over. And I really hope that ladies are really paying attention because notice that finances were only brought up like once, right? Because really, a man that's on it, that's on his grind, that's doing this thing, he's not caring about your finances, right? He understands that you add value to his life in other ways other than finances, right? So your finances is just going to be helpful, right? But for the most part, he got you, right? So we want you to add value in that feminine way, that caring, that understanding, that being supportive. Like that's how we want you to add value. All right. We don't want you to nag. All right. Yes, we love a home cooked meal. All right. Because if we're gonna take you out to eat, if we're gonna take you on vacation, wine and dine, you do things like it's about the balance of it, right? Now, yes, can you take us out to eat and things of that nature too? Yes. And a man could cook for you too, right? It's really about finding that person where y'all ping ponging it, right? Boom, hitting it back and forth. All right. So that's really what it's about. So we talked about a lot of different ways that a woman can add value. So if a woman is not adding a lot of now, not saying that she got to add all those different things, but she needs to come with a lot of those. All right. if you want to really take her serious. So, ladies, we talked about a lot of ways that you can add value. So, there really shouldn't be no confusion or anything like that to how a woman can add value. All right. All right, so that's today's episode. I mean, as always, right? The gratitude and appreciation. That's one thing that I definitely try to show because I appreciate for those of you that's tuning in, especially that subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like. Make sure you comment. I have been getting people comment. It, like I said, it's been respectful dialogue. I appreciate you. If you have any topics or questions you would like for me to make a case on, please send them my way. All right. And hey, make sure you pick up the books, you know, get the merch. You already know. All right. So as always, you are me, love always, love eternal. Remember, the worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. And I think we made that case, baby.